Let's analyze the description of God that God gave of Job. It says, number, have you considered who my servant? God was saying Job was his own servant. Number two, that there is none like him in the earth. If it is God giving this report about a man, you understand that God would have considered everybody on the earth for God to say there is none like him in the earth. God says Job was a perfect man. God says Job was an upright man. God says Job was one that feared God. God is experienced enough to know people that fear him or do not. And says one that escheweth evil. And then Satan says, next verse, then Satan answered the Lord, does Job fear you for nothing? That means there has to be a reason for why Job fears you. This is the same thinking that the devil has about many of us. When we say, oh, God will love you, Satan comes and says, but do you love God for nothing? Is it not because he protects you that you love him? Is it not because he provides for you that you love him? Is it not because he shields you that you love him? Is it not because he's promoting you that you love him? And as long as the reason for which you love God is not God himself, every other reason is fair game to Satan. As long as the reason you love God is dependent on something God gives you or something God does for you, that means that's what Satan was saying, that well, if we touch the things that you have done for him, you will realize that he doesn't fear you. Then Satan says, okay, let's test this fear of God that you said Job has, let's test it. But put forth thy hand now and touch all that he has, and it will cause you to his face. Notice that Satan's emphasis was on the things that Job had. So if you are tied to God because of the things you have, that is not a big enough reason to fear God.